the reasons of missing leg stump was that Alan Knott's pads are nowhere near leg stump. That's part of the method. Very, very effective. '89th over about to be bowled. 7 still to go. Dennis Lilly's just lost his line in the last couple of overs. Could be a little bit of trying too hard.
Yes, he's banged it in short. It's just leg side. But John Embury has a neat style against quick bowling. He keeps his sideway positions well, and he can let the ball go over his shoulder. It's quite hard to get by.
He's just rushing in a little bit, Dennis. The overs ebb away, and a little touch of panic sets in, even in the most experienced mind. To win, which you can forget about. And 6.2 overs still to go. Needs to settle down in the last couple of overs. If anything, might have to slow down a little about the pace when he dismissed Mike Brealey. Does not hurdle in quite so quickly. And you might need a little bit of luck as well. Right, so Lilly finishes his 27th over with that delivery.
Yes, John Embury's played it quite well. He's just let the bat get away from his body, inside edge, but it's missed the stumps. And he's got away with it.
This is the 90th over coming up now, and 6 overs to go.
The great merit of Alan Knott's newfound batting system is that he stays around his leg stump, doesn't go shuffling across, and he makes the bowler bowl it to him. He's in a good position to leave it outside the off stump, and if it is, in his opinion, going to hit off, then he just makes a last push of bat and pad into the line of the ball.
With 2.
Of course, the good thing about the system is that he's got plenty of room to hit the ball. he gets a half volley, he's got all the room in the world to give it a crack.
And it's not a method that Terry Alderman will have encountered all that often in his first-class career. He has his slip cordon there, 4 slips and 2 gullies. So he's aiming around about off stump. Alan Knott is giving himself plenty of room for all the strokes, but still playing them very, very straight. Both Lilly and Alderman now have lost their line, and I'm sure it's because they're just trying to put in that little bit extra out there, knowing that the overs are drifting away. Problem Hughes has is if he wants to give Whitney a bowl. Whitney looked pretty impressive for just a little short spell of 3 overs bowling from this pavilion end. He got a lot of life out of the pitch, which is quite a good effort. There's 15 overs marked up on the board there. There are 5 overs still to go. 20 overs bowled from the start of the last scheduled hour.
Well, it was right on the spot, the same ball that got Mike Braley out, and John Embry hasn't been quite good enough to touch it.
just a little bit too low. He comes in just behind the line of square now, catching position. That's well played by Embry. That down very well. Just a little bit too short from Dennis Lilly.
Yes, he's done well again there, John Embry. Watched it onto the bat.
It's well played again. England making a good fist of it, given the lead by their skipper Mike Greeley, who made that excellent 51 there after there was a mini collapse early on, assisted by Alan Knott, 70 not out. Things started badly with Boycott, OPW to Lilly without scoring. And Larkins 24, Tapparay 8, Gatting 56 and Parker 13. And suddenly it was 127 for 5 and still quite a bit of time to go. Then Brearley and Knott added 93 in only slightly worse than even time. Very good performance that. And here's Alderman now bowling to Alan Knott. Is the 92nd over. 4 overs to go at the start of this over. That's the way the bowling figures stand.
And Dennis Lilly standing proudly there on the top. 7 wickets in the first innings, 4 in the second. Adding once more a haul of 10 and more to his great record. All the stuff.
Dennis Lilly's previous best bowling figures were 11 for 138 against England in Melbourne, 1979-80. He's taken 11 here. 159, so just needs another wicket to better those figures. Method that would win favour with all that many old-time Australian players. I don't think. Alan Knott, he has his hands apart on the bat, cocks his front foot, rests his heel on the ground or takes it off, doesn't move his feet. I think the universal appreciation, but there are a lot of people around England who are appreciating it at this moment. Good gutsy little cricketer. Over 4,000 runs for England in Test match cricket and 269 victims behind the wicket. A few stretched muscles as well. Well played.
Well, I wouldn't say this is all over by any means, but it's certainly starting to look as though England are just going to wriggle off the hook. There's only 3 overs to go. There are, of course, other things to be considered other than the winning and losing. There are still the Cornhill Awards, man of the series. Well, I don't suppose there's going to be much doubt about who that is, but certainly man of the match. There's a pretty good contest going on between Dennis Lilly here and Alan Border. His 2 great innings, 106 not out and 84. Dennis Lilly with 11 wickets in the match, 7 wickets in the first innings, his first ever 7.
Now perhaps that was closer to what Dennis Lilly needs in these last couple of overs, and perhaps in the 2 before that was as close to the delivery that dismissed Mike Brearley as you'll see. Slowed down a bit and a big leg cutter, and perhaps a little more control. It's an interesting method or an interesting way of thinking as well, that Knott will take Alderman and Embry will take Dennis Lilly. Perhaps that might have come from Embry himself. Might feel a little safer with the quicker bowler. Not sure why. Ted Dexter might be able to fill me in on that.
I think he must be a man of considerable style if he says to the man who's got 70 on the board, I'll take Lilly. I think that's rather good. I'd be up the other end as quickly as possible. That could be it. The man who has got Australia into such marvellous positions on this tour, Alan Border, might just have dropped the one that makes all the difference. Well, Lilly, having got it on line, bowled some cracking good balls, finally gets the outside edge. Alan Border, the second of the 2 gullies, always either 5th of the 5 slips, 5th of the 5 slips, I think. Went, he's left-handed batsman. Is he left-handed himself? If so, it went to his wrong side.
It's pretty close, but I think might have been a bit high. Yes, with Alan Border, it went to his wrong side because he is a left-hander, but we'll just come back to that in a moment. That was a little bit high, that OBW. Yes, Alan Border at 5th slip. He is a left-hander, but he has a broken finger on that left hand, so he'd probably be quite happy that it went to the right, and he has the left hand quite heavily bandaged as well. Well bowled. And that's a sad moment. Every young cricketer done a tremendous job on this tour, Alan Border. He's got the strapping on the left hand there. That's the way he should have grabbed it. .260 for 7. 5 to Embry and 70 to Alan Knott. This is the 94th over starting now, 2 overs to go. Our man in close at short mid-on for Alan Knott. No ball called. Two of the most relieved men in England, and that chance went down to Alan Border, would be Mike Hendrick and Bob Willis, or Bob Willis and Mike Hendrick, whichever way the order might be today. They would have had the job of getting away from that striker's end, staying there with Alan Knott. Mike Brearley, who's done his job and has done it extremely well, and the padded phantom on the right of the dressing room there, just waiting to come in. .261 for 7, Knott's on 70. Pad or off the hip. Very well taken by Rodney Marsh, who's had a great series. You wouldn't have thought after what happened to him at Edgbaston in that Prudential Trophy match that in these Cornhill tests he would have kept so well. He's been right back to top form. He's kept as well as I've ever seen him in the 10 or 11 years he's played for Australia. It's very interesting tactics, but it's working. I'd have thought with the chance of a single there that Notty would have been down the other end, but they've worked out what they want to do, and you can't knock success. That's exactly what they've had out there this afternoon. Alan Knott and Mike Brearley first of all, and now Alan Knott and Embury. Embury having come in at 2 minutes past 5. He's batted through for 48 minutes. At a time when, if he'd got out, it could all have been over in just a matter of moments. 261 for 7. And here is the last over of this final match. 19 overs gone of the 20. It's Lilly to Embry. What a delivery. What a ball that was.
Well, it goes straight through him. Just right over the top of the stumps. not sure absolutely the ball did a lot. I have a feeling that Ember is looking for the one going the other way.
It's impossible to tell with cricketers like Dennis Lillee and Rodney Marsh, but this might just be their last Test match in England. You never know. Dennis Lillee will almost certainly be over, I suppose, for the World Cup, but it might just be their last Test match. And that is it. 2 balls to go and 3 wickets to take, and a fine performance from the England skipper. And Kim Hughes must only wonder what might have been. Saturday evening at Headingley. It was all joy. Now it's all frustration.
John Ember has just stuck his leg well forward there. That's what saved him.
And the final Test match here is drawn. 261 for 7 England. And England win the series 3-1 with 2 draws. The 2 umpires are being pushed and assaulted out there, and that crowd that's rushed on. So, a draw in the final Test match of the series, which started with Australia winning at Trent Bridge, then a draw at Lord's, England winning the next 3 at Headingley, Edgbaston and Old Trafford, and now a draw here, 261 for 7 England on the final day. This is how the match unfolded. Really won the toss and put Australia in. They made 352 with Border unbeaten on 106. Quite a consistent scoreline there all the way through, but disappointing in the end because the bottom part of the order wasn't quite able to carry on the things the top half had done. 106 to Border and 54 to Martin Kent, 66 to Wood, 352 all out. England bowling there, Botham 6 for 125 and Willis 4 for 91, the wicket takers. And the 2 teams just farewell at the end of the series. Bob Willis, who had strained stomach muscles towards the end of this match. Congratulations for Dennis Lillee. So in reply to that 352 Australia made, England in their first innings 314 after starting very well with 137 from Boycott, 34 Larkins, 24 Tavare and 53 Gatting. 2 half centuries to Gatting in this match. And then Alan Knott, 36. What a valuable effort, valuable job he did in this test match with the bat. 314 there, 38 the lead for Australia. And the bowling figures, Lilly, his best ever, 7 for 89, and Alderman, 3 for 84. So in the first innings of the match, the quicker bowlers, Willis and Botham and Lilly and Alderman on each side, took all 10 wickets. England captain changed and ready to receive the spoils of the series, and what a good hand he played today. Nice way to go out of Test cricket, if indeed he is going out. You never know this game these days. Might be back again. Second innings for Australia. 344 for 9, 103 for Wellham, 52 for Marsh, and then 84 for Border, missing out by 16 on a century in each innings of the match. England set after the closure this morning 383 to win. And the bowlers yesterday, who were a very tired lot, Botham 4 for 128 and Hendrick 4 for 82. Embry 1 for 76, and Willis, with that stomach injury, none for 41. Just waiting for the festivities to start, or it almost looks as though he's been through them. So England's second innings needing 383 to win. They were 261 for 7 at the close. Bad start, Boycott for naught. Larkins 24, Taveray 8, Gatting 56, Parker 13, Brearley 51, Botham 16, Knott unbeaten on 70, and Embry 5, 261 for 7. And the presentation is ready to start downstairs. Mr. Cecil Burrows, the General Manager of Cornhill Insurance, is just stepping forward.
And now the rest of the Australian party, Graham Wood. Martin Kent. Graham Yallop. Alan Border. Dirk Wellham. Rodney Marsh. Ray Bright. Dennis Lilly. Terry Alderman. Terry. Terry Alderman, ladies and gentlemen. Broke Rodney Hogg's record today. Mike Whitney. Trevor Chappell. Rodney Hogg. Jeff Lawson. Steve Rickson. John Dyson. The cricket manager, Peter Philpott. And their manager, Fred Bennett. Boroughs will make the presentation to the England captain, Mike Brearley. Geoffrey Boycott. Wayne Larkins. Chris Tavaret. Mike Gatting. Paul Parker. Ian Botham. Alan Knott. John Embry. Bob Willis. Mike Hendrick. And the England physio, Bernie Thomas. And now the presentation to the two umpires, Dickie Bird and Barry Mayer. And for providing surely one of the finest pitches, Mr. Harry Bryn, the head groundsman at the Oval. There are two adjudicators for this match, for the player of the match, the player of the series. Mr. Fred Bennett, one of the adjudicators, will now give his reasons and Mr. Vedster's choice for the Cornhill player of the match and will present the player with a medallion and a cheque worth £350. Mr. Fred Bennett.
Mr. Dennis, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Badger and myself have looked at this match very carefully in an endeavour to select the player that we believe is most deserving of the award, the player of the match. We had to take into consideration the condition of the pitch, the situation as it existed throughout the game, and those players who came under consideration were certainly Alan Border for his two magnificent innings, Dennis Lilly for his two performances on a pitch which really didn't assist him. We also looked at Jeff Boycott for his number, and also to Dirk Wellham, who scored a century in his first Test. In the event, our belief is that the award, the player of the match, should go to a very great fast bowler for a very great performance, Dennis Lilly.
Getting a marvellous reception. Hand over to Alan Gretler, who retires the chairman of the selection here this year. Great progress that he should make this presentation at surely his home at the Oval. Alan Gretler.
I'm sure you'll all agree with me that this has been a wonderful series. The excitement and a lot of marvellous performances. There's been a lot of good bowling performances, batting, not quite so many. Maybe that's due to circumstances, of which some people have control, but I've not. But nevertheless, it has been a wonderful series. And the bowling performances, we've had Terry Alderman, who's had a wonderful first series here. Dennis Lilly, who seems to go on forever. And Bob Willis, of course, and Ian Botham, all wonderful bowling performances. Batting, I venture to say, hasn't been quite so easy during this series, but there have been some good performances and great ones. Alan Border in particular has been mentioned. Jeff Boycott. And a special congratulations to Dirk Wellham for his maiden century. But there's been one figure outstanding on this series, which I don't think you need me to say who, and it's Ian Botham. We name the man.